The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. If everyone can hear me, should be able to now. Hope everyone's doing good. Glad to see everyone's in chat. Sandra Piper, Central Florida Bigfoot, Texas Jack, Jay Frizz, all great people. And I was just over on Central Florida's Bigfoot show watching him and stuff. I had to cut out a little early, get ready for this and do some other things, but great talking points and stuff Matt was making, and really good stuff that he's doing down in Florida. From what I see, you're learning and experiencing, you're coming into your own with your own thoughts and theories, and actually going out there and finding out for yourself, which is what everyone should be doing. Don't take other people's word for it. Go out there, experience it yourself, and have everything in mind. And then everyone's areas and stuff is different, and interactions that they get will be different than other people's and stuff. So it's good to just find out on your own and stuff, experience stuff on your own. That's the only thing that really gets you better prepared and experience. And then the more situations you're in, the better you can whip your camera out and actually film them. Try to, anyways. So I am trying to do a few things. We got some cool announcements to talk to you guys about. I got some videos about my girlfriend's paranormal experience of being physically attacked. You guys can see. You guys will see two different videos of very clear physical attacks, and one that's probably going to blow your mind. So we'll show that here shortly. And I've been sick all day. Crazy. I didn't even get out of bed until about 2 hours ago. Just puking all day and stuff, really messed up, but I feel good now, and might as well do something I love, which is doing this show and stuff and talking to people. And I'll even put the link in the chat for you guys, and someone can come on in. Let me post this. It's not working real quick, but it's kind of being as sick as I was today, it's kind of unique to get out of that fog and funk and not be influenced by everyday things and stuff. It made me think about a lot of other things I probably wouldn't normally think about if I wasn't sick. So I come on here and we'll talk about a few things. And If anyone wants to join, there's a link. We can chat about whatever. It doesn't matter. You can go down any kind of rabbit hole you guys want to. Really. Doesn't have to be just Bigfoot cryptids. I love history. I love a bunch of different things, and it usually all correlates in one way or another, especially when you dive into certain things and certain aspects and how they are connected with cover-ups and stuff. A lot of things are covered up, whether or not they're dangerous or not, just because the people the masses can't handle it, like Sasquatch. Um, it seems very clear to me that these conservation efforts and all this land set aside and everything that they do is definitely benefiting the Sasquatch and other cryptids, but Sasquatch and stuff, they definitely seem to be managed on purpose and effectively enough that they can, they're not on preserves and stuff stuck, but they actually roam across these states and stuff. And if you look into your wildlife, fish and game, wildlife DNR, or whatever your state has, you can find, especially decades old references to Sasquatch like things, or bears is another keyword that government likes to use when talking about Sasquatch, is bears. Yeah, I go a little late now because of the kids. It's a lot easier to do the show when they're all in bed sleeping than trying to do it right before bedtime or anything else. So yeah, we go a little late now. But so anyways, I'm all over the place. I apologize, but I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. So if you guys are getting tired already, I'll start showing you the paranormal attacks that my girlfriend has sustained over the years. And these clips are before I met her, and she, unfortunately enough, has experienced a lot of ghost stuff and paranormal stuff, being locked in a room. The door was locked, but of course it's not locked. All sorts of creepy things. And so as you can see here, oh, that's weird. She woke up one day with this mark on her and stuff. She didn't know what it was from. Obviously, to her, it was something paranormal and stuff. There's a series of things, and she was seeing like a little boy in the house, and sometimes shadow things and stuff. And since meeting her and being with her, I can attest to some odd things happening in our house and several different places that we actually lived. And it's very weird and stuff. So there's some physical altercations that she's had, but this clip, I think is going to blow you guys' socks off. This was before I ever met her and stuff, and she was pregnant, and she woke up, and I did edit this and stuff. I'm not sure if YouTube, how crazy they get about nudity and stuff, but this was already, nothing was showing and stuff, so I just added on to make sure that I wasn't going to get in trouble. But if you guys can see, hopefully you guys can see, there's a big handprint on her massive belly that she woke up to, that clearly no one smacked her like that, obviously. But she woke up with that massive handprint on her stomach. And that is, this is something I've been talking about for you guys for a while, about showing you and stuff. And it's legit. It's real stuff that she's actually had. I'm hoping to get her on. But what do you guys think? I mean, what if you woke up and you seen this on you, or your girlfriend or your wife? Or, I mean, that would be pretty freaky, right? And so this is just one of a few things that she actually has pictures of. And this is one of the most incredible ones, just because of how blatantly obvious. Hopefully you guys can see it on the screen. I'm using my phone. I mean, it's a classic hand welt. Like someone just slapped her right on that stomach, And so yeah, the reason why we talk about certain things and paranormal things is because people actually are witnessing it and experiencing it, and physically being harmed. You know. Now this didn't hurt her or anything. She wasn't hurt or nothing wrong, but she woke up like, yeah, woke up like that. So yes, very tasteful editing. Well, I wasn't sure if how crazy YouTube was going to get, even though it was already censored. But I just wanted to go the extra step just to make sure. I don't, I'm not trying to get banned just by showing evidence for you guys, because that's all it is. If you can't handle a pregnant person's belly, you can't handle a lot of things. And so I just, censored it a little bit more. But so yeah, so you know, freaked her out, obviously, freak anyone out. And over time, we've had things happen. One time I've experienced sleep paralysis, basically, and um, other times me and her just was sitting in bed, and all of a sudden it sounds like just the whole cabinet falls down and everything comes off in it, and you go check, and there's nothing there. Nothing fell. Nothing happened. The cat was going crazy, investigating it too. Weird things like that we have often experienced, and a lot of things that we tend to hear, I hear, or whenever one of us are by ourselves, is kids running, and it sounds like it's coming from the next door over, but of course that's just not realistic. So yeah, we experience it every once in a while. We hear things. I wouldn't say I see anything, but she experiences feelings, and is probably more open to those sort of things. So uh, I've had ghost experience in the past and things like that. And so even though I don't dive into it, we don't go after and study these things, wholeheartedly and as much as we do Sasquatch, for a variety of reasons. I'm not comfortable with it. Um, it is real. It does happen. I experience it. My girlfriend experiences it. Other people experience it. You most likely have relatives or friends who experienced some ghostly paranormal aspect, and most Americans and people would believe in ghosts, and they do believe in a Bigfoot living in their state or even in existing. So I'll show that video again, because it is pretty unique and stuff. And I've been telling you guys about it for a while, and so yeah, that's a pretty long, handprint. It's pretty crazy. And she's several months pregnant, obviously, by the size and stuff. So if this was actually a physical contact by a normal person, that'd be a hospital visit for sure. I mean, that's not good, obviously, right? So, but she didn't wake up to it. She didn't feel nothing. She just woke up and seen it, and then got, obviously was shocked and documented it, which is amazing, because a lot of people don't fucking, excuse my language, but take pictures and stuff. They don't document these things. And after a couple minutes, that probably would have faded away, and would have been gone. So it's her. No, it's not the houses. It's her. Something's attached to her from way back when, she thinks, and follows her or something, because we've moved several places. She's moved several places, and she's kind of in tune with that sort of things, in houses and also outdoors, in graveyards and certain things. So great example is the video me and her did, our last expedition type of video. She got touched by something unknown, and we were seeing lights and stuff. When she got grabbed, she's in front of me. You guys can't see it; it's too dark for the camera that did not have night vision. Well, she got grabbed. She jumps. She screams. You guys can hear the audio, and I'm pretty much trying to film this light, which never shows up. But she, she's out there and she's feeling certain things, and she sees some type of entity. It could possibly be Sasquatch. We have, Sasquatch activity out there, along with these paranormal aspect too. But she experienced quite a few things that night alongside with me, which is very interesting. So that's just the fact of the matter is, when I go in the woods in Michigan, I can experience Bigfoot, which I have. Me and my girlfriend have seen a wolf cross the road on all fours, and then it got up like a person and ran like a person, like this, in the field. I guess that's a dog man. I don't like that name. It doesn't sit well, but it is a wolf creature that stood up on two legs and ran like a human. And she witnessed that. There's ghost paranormal stuff out there. I mean, you got to think Earth anomaly, Earth energies and stuff, warfare, Native American warfare. And I mean, if you guys study those sort of things, it seems like these traumatic events leave imprints on places and things and can have peculiar effects. And there are definitely certain places in the woods, certain places in America that have certain types of energies, it seems like. I know there's a place right now that the woods, this huge section itself, a lot of people describe, and I felt this too, have described this type of feeling that they have while they're in there. This kind of a dark, intense feeling. And certain places have that. I don't know why, but there are certain places I've been to that it feels like whatever's going on here, it's pretty intense. This presence and this pressure that you feel is abnormal and stuff. And it could be Sasquatch related. It doesn't have to be paranormal stuff, but even earth energies and earth magnetic fields and changes and water flowing under rocks and under things have magnetic properties, have special unique properties. And then liquid magma, which liquid rocks and all sorts of different minerals and stuff can cause a bunch of different effects and stuff. And that can have effects on the human brains and all sorts of things. And that's why, sometimes when you hear all sorts of stories. There was this story I just listened to about these people in Russia over some mountains east of the Urals, the Ural Mountains in Russia. They they're climbing, and something happened to these people. All of a sudden, they kind of went crazy and bleeding out of their orifices and just craziness, and no one knows really what happened. But you're climbing on this mountain, you have all sorts of blizzard and conditions. You're on top of rocks and minerals and granites and underground waterways and karst systems and stuff. These people just literally went insane in front of people, and only one survivor. And she witnessed all these people literally like a freak virus, Ebola, just destroying them within a couple minutes and stuff of the onset and stuff. But anyways, there's a lot of mysteries we just don't know about. This is people climbing up a mountain that had happened to them. That's not diving into paranormal. That's not going after a cryptid. That's just climbing a mountain, and this thing happened. So, I already answered that. Well, I've been taken out in the field and been testing that, and it's hard to say if it's just that she's a female and we're getting more activity because she's a female, or if it's because of something else. I can't determine that as of yet. I've never experienced mind speak. She's never experienced that sort of stuff. If that happens and stuff, maybe we can lean towards it being, the empath type of things going on instead of just being a woman. I think most cryptids and animals gravitate towards females than males because of several different reasons. They have softer voices. Their presence are a little bit more beautiful. They're, men are hunters. We kill a lot of things. Usually we're the ones out destroying everything. But historically, animals and females, you always see ancient myths and tales and paintings and different things of women, being around animals and animals being very friendly and accepting towards them and a little bit more than the men. So I think it's just that women have, they're not as intimidating. They're a little bit more weaker species. Again, they're more beautiful in aspects and emotionally and able to calm down creatures and animals and, get close to different. And that's what's unique about humans is we do that sort of thing. We think all cute, cuddly, furry animals are our friends. It's not really true, but it's very unique how humans are like that and have, took stewardship and shepherdship over other animal species, even though we don't have to, even though most intelligent species, when you talk to scientists and they say aliens, until aliens come down and they see us, they're going to wipe us out. Why? Because they're so smart. There's no need for us to interact with them. They have no need for us. Humans, we have that intelligence, but yet we have the empathy to care for all these dumber creatures instead of just wiping them out and using resources, which they typically think aliens would do. Humans have a special intelligence which make us actually empathize with other things. And that's what makes us think that every furry thing is our friend, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, it does. If you guys watch a lot of videos with human and animal interactions, even though animals don't understand us, our language and stuff, they learn and adapt and actually do understand certain sounds that you make, certain body language that you make, facial expressions. You guys can watch, there's these guys with alligators, they're kind of like big dogs to them. Obviously, you have to be, prepared and stuff, and things can go wrong. But the way that you can see a lot of different animals interact with humans who take care of them and humans who are good to them, it just shows. Losing my voice here. It just shows how intelligent the animals are because they can perceive this and how friendly and actually interaction that they get. Elephants do that, apes and stuff, but if you're not good to animals, they're not good to you. And so most animals are scared to humans. Most every animal is scared from humans because of, we just have hunted them for thousands of years. Everything that we do, put them in zoos, prisons. So when you're out there, interacting with Sasquatch and stuff, if this is a highly intelligent life form and not just a squirrel out there, it's going to pick up on certain things, on aspects of how certain humans interact with the environment and other animals. Generally females are probably going to be more, accepting and present a vibe out in the woods that probably most men don't have. Most men, especially if you're a hunter, you kind of feel like the alpha predator in the woods, even if you're not hunting. And so already, men are at a disadvantage when it comes to actual interaction with Sasquatch. I think females could probably get more interaction, but there's that double flip side of the coin where it's a little bit more dangerous for females too, because Sasquatch likes females, and they're pretty close to humans. And, a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman, and a Sasquatch has different cultural rules, sets, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. They will take women. Native Americans have said this a lot. And I study Native American culture, lore, language. When you talk about Native Americans, and you're talking about thousands of different unique language, tribes, cultures. I mean, most people, it's just like Native Americans. They're all basically about the same, but uniquely, you can have tribes that speak very similar languages and even have similar religious cultural ties through these languages, but then they are uniquely different and have their own unique stories to it. Like an example, here in Michigan, we have three main tribes, or we used to. The Potawatomi, the Chippewa, and the Ottawa. We also had Huron and stuff, which were more Iroquois language group. So they were a completely different language group, different cultures, different styles, different hairdress, different legends on Sasquatches, Wendigos, and all sorts of things. Sometimes these different tribes would have complete opposite beliefs. So the Miami, the Fox, and the Huron tribe were Iroquois, and they spoke in Iroquois style linguistic language. The three main tribes, the Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and the Ottawa, they spoke their own unique language, but it's under the Algonquin umbrella of language, meaning that you can understand some words that you can speak. The big three, you can understand certain things, but certain things are spelled differently, certain things are pronounced differently. Outside of that, you have the Algonquin language branch group, which has dozens of different other tribes who speak their own unique language, but it is still tied to the Algonquin language branch. So all these unique tribes have their own legends of Sasquatch, and then they all, as the Algonquin type language group, have stories of these creatures and other creatures, ancient folklore legends and stuff of Native American heroes fighting dinosaurs, basically. Now, even though all these tribes are distinctly different, dressed differently, even different religious things, they all could be considered the same kind of people, and they are considered the same kind of people when generalized, but they're all uniquely different. They all had uniquely different relationships with Sasquatch, and they all told uniquely different stories about little people, about thunderbirds, about water panthers that lived in the Great Lakes of Michigan, about horned serpents, a generalized thing. Now you go to other states and other regions of completely different language groups that are not tied. They have their stories that are very similar but different, of the similar type of creatures, but different. Central Florida Bigfoot, he made a comment that the only native greeting he knows is how, which is a southwestern greeting that they did. And the actual legend of that goes is they showed you their hand to count how many digits you had, because there was stories of six-fingered giants, these red-haired giants and stuff, or these entities who had extra digits. And so when you showed you your hand, I wanted to make sure you had that appropriate number of digits so that you were a human and not one of these things, which if you look into these different cultures, they said they went to war with giants. There's even the Arapaho, the Navajo, the Arapaho, the Cheyenne, and there's the Omaha and a couple other groups of that region. They said they went to war with some little people. These groups, these distinctly different Native American groups, even though they speak very similar languages, they fall under the same umbrella group. They're very different. They said that they went and formed alliances with each other to go after, and they said to fight these little people. And these little people of that particular region were said to be very warlike and had a very good appetite for war. They were very proficient with weapons and stuff. and said that they battled until these things were exterminated, and they went into the caves and they were no more. You go to the eastern side, they talk about the little people, the Pukjui, Pukwa, Pukwi. There's a bunch of them. The Paisha, which is Great Lakes region based. They talked about how they're tricksters and stuff. They weren't really warlike, but they had magic and they could trick you and hypnotize you, and they could be invisible, and they could also kill you. Some stories of the little people in Louisiana have some tribes told them that they had a particular funky way of magic of where something that was huge and massive for a person that we could not lift, they could lift. But a little block that is nothing for us would be impossible for them to lift, which is weird and stuff. So and they turn invisible. They talk about other hypnosis and things. These things pop up regularly from different cultures who spoke different languages, thousands and thousands of miles apart. You have tribes up in Alaska who talk about little people. And those tribes never came in contact with the tribes in Louisiana. They don't speak the same language, not same culture, not evolved from the same way, other than when natives first came through Alaska. But what I'm trying to get is, if you study Native American history, oral history, and everything else, it does have a very unique story of this land, of crazy things that happen, of monsters and men, of gods, and of spirits. And so I have always found that fascinating and stuff, even before getting to Sasquatch and stuff. But it is amazing and stuff, learning and stuff about all these different tribes talking about these very similar creatures and yet very distinctly different, and even were enemies with each other, but yet they were still encountering the same things. And sometimes Sasquatch were nicer. Sometimes they were bloodthirsty monsters who just went to war and killed natives. Other times they would trade, make baskets for each other and trade. Then Sasquatch would kidnap kids and throw them in the baskets. That's why in Washington, you have the woman of the woods, and she has a basket. And they say that the kids, shouldn't be out after dark in the woods and stuff, because she might grab them and put them in the basket. The natives, and you can find this in different regions of this very similar story and legend of trading going on. The natives would make baskets because the Sasquatches couldn't make baskets with their fingers. They weren't dexterous enough or whatever. Good trade relations were happening. For you to trade with something, you have to have intelligence, you have to have understanding, a language barrier that can be broken, understanding, a whole slew of stuff that's just more than an animal is capable of. But the Sasquatches would end up kidnapping women and children and putting them into the baskets. The native tribes would have enough. They would go to war. They would drive these creatures into caves. They would line the caves with wood, set it on fire, asphyxiate all of them in the caves, and shot everyone else as they came out. That legend of war and pushing these creatures into caves and setting them on fire, you can find that told several different regions by several different tribes, several different time periods of where they say this happened. This happened during this time period. This tribe says they have a very similar story that happened way, 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 way long time ago, before that. Alaska tribes have stories about this. The famous one of Lovelock Cave, of the Paiute. The Paiute princess wrote in the book in the mid 1800s. She's talked about these redhead giants who would eat the Paiute, and they would eat their own dead, and they were cannibalistic giants. They would eat their own dead. They would eat Native Americans. The story was passed down to her, and she said that the natives have had enough. They forced them into the cave. They lit the cave's mouth on fire, and then they called out to them to surrender. And when none of them did, they lit it on fire. And then they did, as some retreat, they shot them with bows and arrows. And you guys can look into the story after that. You can find burn marks, and this was an actual real event that happened. In that cave, they found decoyed ducks from a time period for which this Lovelock Cave area was a massive lake. And the unique thing about it is it's several thousand years old and stuff. So you're talking about legends and stuff, thousands and thousands and thousands of years that these Native Americans remember still, because it was that important of an event. It was that chaotic, climactic, and it was real. And that's why this story still gets passed. So you can find different stories like that all around in different states and different Native cultures. I would look and suggest at a lot of Native American tribes and stuff have online websites. Usually free websites that can teach you to speak native languages, because they're dying out. They're trying to put everything up online to preserve it and give resources to people to study. So you can study, like in Florida, there's several different tribes. And Florida's the original tribes in Florida were wiped out. The main groups there now, the main groups there that are there now came from Georgia and fled Andrew Jackson through the Indian Wars, and they fled into Florida, and that's how they retain their residency now. But the original inhabitants, especially the southern half of Florida, mid and southern half, are completely wiped out and stuff. But you can still learn kind of their languages. There are resources on sister languages that you can learn that are much older spoken languages than the Seminoles that they have in the Everglades, or any spoken language from the Georgian Native Americans and stuff. So you can find old ones and stuff, older ones, and are very rarely spoken, and you can learn them. There's a lot of native languages that are extinct, that never were copied down, studied, and translated by missionaries or the Americans. But luckily there's enough that has survived that you can study, that is close enough to whatever region you're studying, that if Sasquatches do know this language and still practice it, they may understand you. In my experience, they've never spoken anything to me, but they have definitely acknowledged some of the things I've asked and said, both in Native and English, actually. So let me do something. Let me get on this phone and do something real quick. We got some announcements to share, but I just have to get on this real quick. That way I can get some links, put the links in chat for you guys to check out. And you can go to Native American educational centers in your state. You should have some. And you can get into programs where they teach you their language. They teach you their history. You can get into different programs. You can help with different aspects. And you might even learn unique history and stories that not are officially told. You might be able to speak with elders and stuff. And if fortunately enough, they were able to keep their traditions enough, they still might have some really pretty cool kept secrets. And the only way that this would ever be known and stuff is if you build a relationship with those kind of people. And you can hear, and there's several different people and researchers and different tribes, people who say there's still knowledge to be learned. There's still knowledge that is being withheld because there is no the there's a lot of different prophecies and stuff. If you and Native Americans actually have prophecies of the future and different things. Um, Basically, that knowledge is not it's not time for it to be passed on yet because the people are not ready. Um, there's a prophecy from the Algonquin tribes called the prophecy of eight fires. So basically, it's a long prophecy of their history of finding Michigan, of coming to this place, of forming the tribes, and then it talks about the future of the white people showing up. It talks about world calamities, world wars, and it talks about basically, if the people, all of us, if we don't, humble ourselves and really live with love and heart and truthfulness, and we instead act selfishly, we hate one another, all the negative things, then the world will pretty much end. And they say it, which it kind of makes sense. I mean, obviously, if everyone is, you know, living that sort of way, how can anything sustain itself? All right, so there's a lot of different things you should look into when it talks about Native American culture and different things, because it opens up the door for a lot of things that you might not know about. And if Sasquatches are a type of people being in America, they would most closely have been influenced by Native Americans, whether they see, monkey see, monkey do, copying sort of certain aspects, certain things. When you have certain people, two different peoples coexisting, living with one another, you you tend to pick up on things. Um, so let me do this. Let me put some banners up. If you guys want to contact me through email, that is a good way to do that. I'm a big Mopar fan, so I like the 440 Dodge big black motors and the old Roadrunners and the Dodge Daytonas. And then here's the Lost Cryptids email. I'm a little sick. I've been sick all day, guys. I'm sorry if my voice is raspy and I'm kind of all over the place right now. But a lot of good things planning for this next year. We're going to be doing a camp out for you guys. We're going to be hosting a camp out in a pretty heavily active spot that we go to next summer. Give you guys a whole year to prepare and stuff. If you guys want to come, this would be here in Michigan. I would say prepare is because if you're really wanting to do this like I am and more professionally and stuff, making sure you're prepared, training, working out, not being a couch potato for the whole year, then getting up and going on an expedition, it's not going to go the way you want. Every little bit of training, working out, preparation, mental, physical, is going to help you better in the field, physically, mentally, and just be better adapt to actually get in that moment when the moment's happening, be ready to start filming and not be all, scared and crazy and just like, oh my God, you have your camera here and it's down by your side because you're in the moment too much. You have to step outside. You have to get the camera ready. You have to film whatever kind of equipment you got. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think there's the Jagas, and there's some southern ones that um, built canals and they built mounds and stuff, and they're very unique. And their languages are lost, but you can get some sister languages that are different, but should have similar things you could study. There's good resources online and stuff. Just all you gotta just type in Native American languages or learn Native American languages, and literally the first 5 websites should provide you with enough to get you started. And of course, you can watch YouTube videos of how they actually pronounce and stuff. Now, I've been studying the native languages of Michigan, and they're very, very similar. It's not too difficult to understand how they pronounce things here, and then go read in other places, and they have very similar pronunciations of some things. You know, it's not easy learning a whole new vocabulary and pronunciations and vowels, and but it's not that hard. Once you get started on it, for like the tribes I'm doing, it's kind of always the same. I can pull something up. I just want to do this real quick. So like I said, I was sick all day, but I was going to have a video to show you guys about this, but I've had people been asking me, where do they donate to help us and stuff, and I don't like asking for money and stuff. This is something I'm doing on my own, but at the same time, people do want to help, and it's not free. So we have dang it, I'm not gonna be able to do it like this. I gotta figure something out real quick. So we're gonna have merchandise and stuff for you guys to purchase and buy. Not only so you guys can help with us, but you actually get something from it. You're not just, donating money. You can get a shirt, and everything is going to be decently priced. Actually, it's already set up. We have one design already out right now. I would have had another one out today, but I was sick. So we'll have several different designs, and you can buy t-shirts, sweatshirts, a bunch of different little things if you guys want to. At least you guys get something out of it, and I feel better about accepting your money for it. That way you actually get something. I've never been one to accept handouts or really to accept help or really ask for help. I typically tend to be stubborn and stuff, but I have a few people who are nagging me to accept some help. If you guys choose to, we're going to get this link up in a second. I might have to jump out real quick. I will be back in like 2 minutes. And then I'm going to grab the link. I wasn't able to do it off the other phone. So I'm going to put you guys on hold with some nice music. And I will be right back in less than 2 minutes. All right, guys, I'm back. Link should be in there. Why is it not working? Let me. It should work. So you guys might have to copy and paste that. It should take you to the Lost Cryptids Conservatory page on Teespring. That's where the merchandise is being sold from. So now we have a Teespring store. So you guys can, help support us and buy a shirt or a sweatshirt or whatever at good pricing and stuff too. If you guys actually look compared to other stuff, it's actually not too bad. Anyways, okay, it works. Sweet. So I have one design up there. Unfortunately, I will get a new design tomorrow. So if you check periodically, you'll have more options for shirts and stuff, and a bunch of things on there. Actually, it's pretty cool. So yes, that will be the way to help support us, and you guys can get yourself some items too. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna doing more things and stuff this next year. Hosting this, we'll be hosting an event, and we're gonna be doing a more importantly, in my eyes, is the research expedition that happens after. So we're hopefully having to so I'm on to have researchers come out and actually spend a couple days, maybe a week, up to a week or more here, and be out in this active area researching and trying to get interaction, not just one-off sounds and stuff, but actually have interactions going back and forth, and hopefully, have some amazing camaraderie and stuff too. So we're excited. We're about to get out into some places here next weekend, and then end of this month we're hitting up some good spots. Hopefully, we crossing our fingers that we get some amazing interaction and evidence to show you guys. So it's going to be a little bit before you guys watch more videos on the YouTube from like expeditions and stuff, because my computer had just completely took a shot and it's down. Yeah, I know the music's playing. I kind of like it. It's not too bad compared to the other options, but yeah. So it should be pretty awesome. We'll see how this month goes, and in the rest of the year determines where actually we're going to go. But I'm pretty confident in this area. It always turns up something, and it's one of those places that has this feeling you can't shake. You don't really know, can't quite put your finger on it, but it's there. And so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing some fun things. We're going to be looking for missing people too. I've been looking into different things, and there's no reason why we go out to some of these areas where there are missing people. It'd be beneficial, I think, for everyone if we keep our eyes open for some of these clues and stuff, what these people are wearing and stuff. And in particular, there's some missing 411 cases and stuff that we're probably going to dive into and get on location and film, talk about, and search for these people and stuff in a professional type of manner, not just going out there and being lackadaisical about it. So, and we're doing a conference and stuff too. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun, I think. And this is gonna be. Oh, I'll just. Be on the lookout for more information on that as we get this rolling and stuff. So we got a fun event planned for you guys. This is not just another Bigfoot conference, but more or less a Dogman and Lost Cryptid style conference where anything could possibly go. Why? Because people experience this stuff. I just showed you right here. This is a video. This is a picture of my girlfriend who has a hand print on her very pregnant belly. People have interactions with the unknown, with other cryptids, with Bigfoot, with Loch Ness, with sea serpents, all sorts of things that makes this world truly magical. And so that's why we talk about things, and we're gonna host an event that can be open to all those things, because the truth of the matter is people experience these things all the time. And it's when you least expect it. When that dog man creature passed in front of us on all fours, the wolf on all fours, and then ran, got up in the field and continued to run. It happens when you least expect it. And I never would have thought that I would have seen that. Dogman was just a misidentified Bigfoot for me. Maybe a baboon type of head or something like that, where you have kind of a canine snout, but it's more of a less an ape snout still, baboon style. Seeing is believing. It truly is. And experiencing stuff more and more in Michigan just truly shows me how amazing the state is, but how amazing this world is. So guys, so that is kind of the announcements I have got planned for next year and stuff. So this conference is going to be next summer, and details will slowly come out as we get them all worked up. I'm not one to spill the beans until I have things in place, so I'm spilling the beans now because things are getting in place. So this is going to be awesome and fun, and going to be different and stuff. It's not going to be another average Bigfoot show conference thing. And I want this to be informative and not just another lecture, but actual. You learn something from it. You take away something from it, and you have fun along the way. So, if you guys want to help support with all that, you can contact me. We are accepting donations, of course. You can. If you want to potentially speak at the event and stuff too, come in contact with me. It's not going to be a huge, massive event where we're going to have all the big names, but we hope that it's more educational, informative, and everyone's having fun. So contact me and stuff. Let me know, and then afterwards, we're going to be doing the research expedition, which I think is even more important. But I think the conference is a good venue to have researchers come together and talk and debate and discuss and prepare as we go on the expedition afterwards. For a full week, and we want you guys here. It's going to be work. This is not a campground party. This is a research expedition in which you're going to do work. Now, you don't have to like bust your back out and die, but I mean, come on, you push some effort into it. Let's go out there. Let's try to get the real deal evidence. Let's try to experience stuff. Um, put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to go out there and say, you're going to be doing this, and you're really gung-ho about things, then I expect that to be shown out there. Okay, just it's because we need more professional mindset of expeditions, of gathering evidence. And this is not a camp out. You guys can camp out any other time, weekend during the year. This is gun-hos work. 8 hours shift work. I expect everyone to know what that means. So it's this mindset we need to have. We can't be lackadaisical out there. We can't just be half-ass. We have to be focused, professional about it as much as we can. I mean, I make mistakes out there. I'm not the most professional person, but I strive to try to be better than I am, and better than I am than the other times out there. And it's the only way we can go forward. We can actually get real deal evidence, and we need to strategize. And like people are talking about, there's a bunch of different on data, on people who all over the country who we need to have, discussions, round tables on maybe certain things, on certain aspects of certain standards of evidence, of certain standards of practice of how we conduct ourselves out there, a standard of discipline. Not just a roundup posse of researchers who guns a-blazing, anything goes. I mean, you can get some spectacular things out of that too, but structured professional work needs to be done. And it's the only thing that's going to actually take us to this next step. And then the interactions of actually one-on-one interactions or group interaction with these creatures consistently. How's it going, Northman's Keep? Glad to see you stopping by. Everyone check out his YouTube channel, and where he talks about little people, Sasquatch, and dives into analyzing video evidence of Turtle Man and other researchers and stuff. So you guys can check out his channel and watch some of that. So yes, that is about it. I think I'm supposed to get off here before 1, so I have a curfew. So yeah, I think this next year is going to be big. I've been feeling it like every year's been getting bigger and bigger and better and stuff, and better experiences and more close encounters, and meeting good people, meeting fake people, and experiencing, learning, and growing has been a great opportunity that I've found myself in, and meeting amazing people and shit people. But that happens, you learn and you grow, and you become smarter from it. So we're doing this conference a little different. We're not going to have the drama of the BS former members trying to do this and that, blah, 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 blah. It's old. So I think you guys are going to find it a bit different, surprising. And if you guys have been to the first event that the Lost Cryptids threw, then compared to other events, I'm sure that you're going to notice a big difference when we throw this one too. So I appreciate everyone who's watched the show, everyone who's supports us by just listening, by just watching, by just spreading the videos, and maybe mentioning us to circles of friends and things like that, because that's important, and we appreciate that very, very much. So Northman Keep says, I actually went up to Grayling last week. Got some vocals, didn't record them though. One sounded like a hog, the other an ape or a bear grunt. And that, of course, is an area in Michigan well known for its military base and its Sasquatch sightings next to the military base. I was about to say something I completely forgot as I was doing that. But anyways, yeah, I think researchers need to reach out. I'm terrible at reaching out to people. I admit that. I typically keep to myself, and unless you really have something that you want to talk to me about, I typically don't really message people that often. It's just how I am, and also past and things like that. But feel free to reach out and stuff. If you reach out, I will message you back and stuff. And now that I got everything squared away and a little bit more efficient, there will be no lost emails. I have found that some emails and some Facebook messengers to the page, for some reason, they don't get sent right away, and I get them weeks after the fact. And I apologize to those who that happened to. I don't know why it glitches up or it has done that. So if I have not reached out to you, message me again. I might not have got it. So, and in terms of new things that we're going to be doing here, like I said, once I get the computer fixed and stuff, it should be. I got some things lined up from Florida and some other expeditions and stuff. Stuff not really seen that I'll show you guys. Some newer things. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys what it's really like to go through a swamp. Now, we don't have snakes here. We don't have alligators, so it's pretty safe. But I'm gonna take you to some areas that no one goes to, and hopefully I'll have some partners along the way. But if I'm by myself, I'm by myself, which I typically most of the time am. Anyways, I like being by myself, researching. That's what I've always done. It's what I've had my very first encounter with, was by myself. I think things happen more when you're by yourself. It's more dangerous, but you're definitely you're just, everything, your awareness, everything is just more. Because having another person there is amazingly beneficial. Having another witness to witness everything that you, in that situation, is needed. It's a credible witness that can back up everything that you're seeing and the evidence that you capture. Buddy system, it helps. A lot of beneficial things. You're a little bit more braver when you're with a buddy. But some negative things that you have when you're with a person, I feel sometimes, this is just my experience because I've been doing solo years and years and years. I have to watch out for them. I have to, be mindful of what they're doing, where they're at. Their safety is a concern. Their emotional well-being is a concern. If this person is freaking out and saying, hey, I don't want to go any farther, but you want to go farther, you got to humble yourself back, and their well-being is a more concern than trying to get evidence and stuff. That can be both beneficial and negative. If, you really just want to try and get out there, it can be negative. People have their own ways of doing things, their own ideas, and sometimes that is different than what you want to do. Or, there's a group of 20 people and you think you should do this, and other people think to do this and this and this. I mean, it can be chaotic trying to figure out what exactly you guys are going to do in a quick, efficient 2-minute time frame, instead of taking 20 minutes to figure out what's going on. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me out there. In some crazy places and stuff. This next year is going to be pretty fun. Just see more of my girlfriend out there. Hopefully we get some more experiences, paranormal stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And so we try to be a little different here. I think we are. I try to be different when I'm in the field and stuff. I try to do what I do and do what I like to do and what I know to do from my experience and what pays and works for me. You know, it might be different from other people, but it is awesome to see what other people are doing and then going, you know what, I should try that, and then trying it at your spots, and then something happens. It's called learning and stuff. So we'll be doing some more stuff, good group stuff once we all have different jobs, different time schedules, and it's kind of hard to schedule us all on the same weekend to be able to do stuff. But this end of the month, we should be doing something pretty big. We're excited. We're hoping that something major happens, like night vision footage. If they get close enough, this night vision that I got will see them, no problem. No problem. So we got a new night vision and stuff. Can see 100 yards easily, no problem, or more. Manual focused, and it's a digital zoom too, so it's kind of nice. But we hope to get more evidence soon. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, please ask them now. I'll be jumping off here soon. My voice is getting shot, and I got a busy day tomorrow. So let me check this, see if there's any other videos that I might want to show you guys. Okay. Well, if you guys find the link, I didn't copy it. But I'll have the Teespring link up in the chat in the description after this, so you guys can check out the store. We'll have new designs up tomorrow, new designs this week, and then we'll be focusing on the conference and focusing on expedition and different things. But right now, before I got sick, working out, training and stuff. If you are able to do it, you should do it. It's going to be beneficial to you, for your health and everything, is physical exercise and stuff. As a researcher, it makes no sense why I would spend a whole year on a couch and then go bust my ass out in the woods trying to go look for Bigfoot, unprepared, untrained, and a couch potato that's not warmed up. You're going to get injured. You're going to get hurt. You're not going to be able to do what you really want to do, even though your mind says and wants to. Your body's going to say no. Workout, walking, running, cardio and stuff. You know, we do a lot of hiking. We do several miles of hiking a day. We've done 10 miles easily one day. The next day, we're doing the same. I've walked 20 miles getting ready to go on the 168 to Florida. I've walked 20 miles and getting ready and stuff. Because when you train hard now, when you're on the expedition, it's a lot easier. It's not as hot. You're not as tired. You have more endurance. You're more focused and stuff because you're not fatigued. You're not battling with all the other crap. You can actually think and prepare. And when you're in the situation, when Sasquatch activity, you're very certain is happening, you're not going to be tired. You're going to be stressed, but you're not going to be even more stressed on your body than what you're going to be in that situation. and it's going to help you prevent you from being sore. If you're on this expedition for a whole week with us, you're going to be sore by the end of it. I'm sore by the end of it. But the more that you work out and get prepared for these certain types of things when you're actually there for Hell Week, it's not going to be as bad. If you don't do anything all year and then you go to like an expedition with us, or you go in that real deal thing, you're going to feel it, man. So I express everyone to just do it, because that's just, physical fitness is just important in so many different ways and so many different life aspects. It is truly something that everyone needs to do. And you can do it at whatever skill or body type, anything. If you can't even get out of bed and all you can do is move your arm, well, guess what? Move your arm 100 times. You're going to start working out. You're going to start feeling it, and you're going to start getting stronger and better and everything. So, because that's what I do. I'm focused on it. It helps me 100% time when I'm in the field. I can go farther, go up hills. I'm not tired. I got to humble myself, because I don't need to be pushing people till they're breaking their kneecaps off, or traversing the terrain and stuff, going up and down hills safely and stuff. That's going to help with your balance if you work out. Get the female Sasquatches looking at you and all that. So that's what I've been doing. Doing a better workout routine, eating healthier. My biggest thing is I don't eat healthy, but food's great. But getting ready for next year, this next year with the big events coming up, and ending this year, still not even over with. It's got like 6 months left, give or take. See, summer's almost ending. September, we got last month of summer here in Michigan. That means all the Sasquatches. So typically here, what we think here in Michigan is the birthing season is like spring and then in July. Typically there's a lot of, and this is data coming from Val Savala, the gumshoe guy. Check out his Facebook group. If you guys are not there, you guys are not in the best Facebook group ever, with real data by a professional person. His data shows that most people hear baby crying in the woods when it's springtime or July. And sometimes it's other months, but typically in July is, we consider here in Michigan, from what I've seen of the data and stuff, is, they're giving birth, or they just gave birth and stuff like that. So in August and stuff, these little ones and stuff, these babies are getting bigger and stronger and stuff. You still might be able to hear them crying. As September rolls around into October and hunting season, if they give birth during spring, or they give birth during, June and July, by the time hunting season rolls up, they should be big enough. I assume that they don't cry anymore and stuff, because you don't typically hear a lot of this crying and stuff. Babies cry. I don't know. Anyone who's a parent, babies cry. If you just have a baby, they're going to be crying. And I don't see how a Sasquatch would be able to stop their babies from crying, like a human would. If it's hungry, it's going to cry. If they go places where you can't hear them, that's one thing. But spring through July, if you're hearing baby crying through the woods, you probably shouldn't go towards it. It's probably a real baby crying. Yeah, it's different in South and stuff too, because you guys don't have winter stuff. So it's the birthing stuff, like the gestational period, or like when's the season of birth, right? Like animals, some animals it's every couple months, some animals it's a season. Humans, we can have babies whenever we want. Sasquatch, I'm sure, can have babies whenever they want if they choose to. They might choose the best time period to have a baby in the wild because springtime, obviously, after winter, all summer to grow up big and strong in the sunshine and getting prepared for winter next year. Typically, that's what most animals do. Sasquatches probably can do whatever, but it seems like it's the springtime and the same as nature does. Just easier to grow a baby in the wild like that than starting in winter and going from there. But this is different in different regions. Down south, it's completely out the window because you guys don't have a winter season, really, or you do, but it's nothing like what we have up here. And so they could have babies anytime, and it wouldn't really be too hard. Hunt season is a big time for them. It's not something that they can't manage. Certainly, there's 250,000 hunters here in Michigan. I think this last year, give or take. It's gone down several 100,000 within the decades and stuff. So there's less hunters out in the woods here in Michigan now than ever before. Sasquatches know all the hunters' routines, all the best hunting spots. Typically, a hunter will organically always set up in the best spot that he likes. It's that one spot he always gets that buck every year. That hunter's typically going to be at that tree stand each and every year. It's not really that hard for a Sasquatch to pick up on that and then strategize to not be in that area when that guy's out there. Or for the 2 weeks of gun season. 2 weeks of gun season here in Michigan. It's 2 weeks during the November that you can go out with shotguns and rifles and deer hunt. There's another season in January where you shoot antlerless. That's a 2-week period where they just have to avoid hunters. Now there's archery season from September all the way through this, and there's small game all the way from September through April 1st. So there are people hunting half a year. You can hunt every single day for half a year, small game. But I don't think they worry about the small game hunters as much as deer hunters, because that 2 weeks is when the big shotguns come out, the rifles come out, depending on how far you go up north. But 2-week period of time, they really have to just be careful out in the woods because of the guns going off. Other than that, it's the first 2 weeks, weeks of archery season. It's a big hunting season. It's the archery season. The first 2 weeks of archery season, everyone's out. Everyone is out there hunting with a bow. After that, it drops off because typically people get their deer, and most people stop hunting after they get one or two deer. Very rarely do you have a hunter that just keeps buying tags and keeps getting deer all through the whole season. You can. It doesn't really happen too much. So, it's, again, the Sasquatches or other cryptids, if they're smart, would be able to observe and adapt to those, to Fred for the last 20 years, who's been going to that oak tree to shoot that deer with his bow and then gun. They know that Fred is going to be there every single year on the dot within this 2 weeks and with this 2 weeks. After that, maybe Fred might go back out another time or two, but he's not out there. Fred don't like to go rabbit hunting. Fred don't like to go bird hunting. Fred likes to shoot deer. That's all that Fred does in this whole patch of woods. That's not that long of a time period they have to worry about. And plus, they get up to the roads. You can't shoot towards roads. You can't shoot towards houses. You have to be, so many yards away from these things to even begin to be able to hunt. They will move towards the roads. They will move towards the trailheads where you can't shoot, at these parking lots where you can't shoot, and private property where no one hunts. Classic example that is older people who have a piece of property in the country with woods. They don't hunt it anymore. Their kids don't hunt it. And maybe their grandkids are just now getting of age to start hunting again. Or not. Maybe it won't ever be hunted again. That piece of property, they're going to realize that no one's hunting on it or hasn't for a while, they're going to be more comfortable in that spot. It's when new hunters start hunting in new areas that the Sasquatches have never experienced these people because they're new. They don't have these routines and stuff. That's when you can get these unpredictable encounters because the Sasquatches aren't expecting this new 20-year-old hunter to be showing up here because he's never been there before. Only Fred for the last 20 years. So, that's just how they get away from people during hunting season. And they do snatch deer from people. People during hunting season see them. I've carried 22 out squirrel hunting. I've had knocks and stuff. I've been followed. That doesn't bother them having a gun. It depends on the person, I think. If they recognize that, Fred is going to shoot at anything that he hears because he wants to shoot this deer and he's a good old boy, they're probably not going to be messing with Fred because Fred's unstable. Fred is a loose cannon. Whereas maybe, they see you out there and you're more humble about what you're doing and the way you hunt, the way you act, they might be a little bit more open to mess with you, to interact with you. As long as you're not going to turn around and just shoot at them and being stupid, they will be more open to do that sort of thing. As you can see with the Jason Kenzie and Blake Dorsch's Bigfoot encounter. I have a rifle on me the entire time. It's not a 22. It's a good enough rifle that it would take down one of them. They introduced themselves. They caused the interaction. They took a chance by interacting with us, whether or not I was going to point that gun, which I did at the ground, but towards them. They took a chance of whether or not I was going to shoot them. They took a big chance, a big risk. And it just shows, from my experience in that instance with those particular individuals, that they were willing to take that risk to see what kind of interaction we were going to do or how we were going to react. You guys can watch from there, and they show themselves to us. And the gun was on my shoulder the entire time. Everything was cool, calm, and collective. And from that, we had an amazing encounter. So I'm getting off here. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the night. Get some sleep. Start out tomorrow with a bright, new, fresh pair of eyes and spirit, and try to focus on something that makes you happy. Maybe something you've been putting off. Maybe something that you're not sure if you can do. Just try it. Just do it. The biggest risk you can't take is not taking any. So, good night, everyone. And yes, God bless, like Sandra said. And I hope to see you all next week and stuff. We might have a show on Saturday, might be on a Friday or something. Depends if I'm going to be going out. All right. So if you guys come back to this, I'll have the link to the merch store in the chat, in the description, and you guys can check out more designs in the next following couple of days as we get more up there. You should be able to find whatever you want on there, and every single shirt, sweatshirt, and all that has multiple colors. So it's not just one. You can choose from 10 to 17 to sometimes even more. So plenty of options and colors and all of that. All right. Well, I'm glad everyone's stuck around. Appreciate everyone who did, and we got more stuff coming. So be on the lookout for us. Be on the Facebook page, and we have a Facebook group. Please check it out. You guys can share. We're pretty open about sharing pretty much anything as long as it's not crude and over the top stuff, no nudity and stuff like that. But pretty much anything can be posted We're not strict about it. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next side.